Are you looking for a clean and elegant card design? In this video, I'll show you how to create a stunning white-on-white card that's full of texture and dimension. We'll use the Wonky Rectangles die set to create a unique frame, the Mini Mosaic embossing folder for a modern textured background, and the Etched Layered Daisy Stem die for a delicate floral focal point. With just 110-pound white Recollections card, this design is perfect for weddings, anniversaries, or any special occasion. Let's dive in and bring this timeless card to life. Hey everyone, it's Lean from ColoradoLean.com. Welcome back to the craft room. So to get started with our timeless white-on-white card, I'm going to start off with two of the Wonky Rectangles. And I want to turn these into a frame. So I will turn them upside down so that the cutting blades are down. And I'm going to do my best to get these lined up even. Now I know it's not going to be 100%, and as we all know, I'm okay with that. I'm going to be taking a few pieces of the Spellbinders Best Ever craft tape, and I'm going to tape these two dies together so that I can cut two frames that will be exactly the same. So I will carefully place my tape down. And I'm going to be working with some scrap pieces of Recollections card. And this is the 110-pound. And I'm going to cut two of the frames from this piece. Now with this inside piece that's left over, I'm going to be able to cut out my Simon Says Stamp Etched Layered Daisy Stem flower. These will fit perfectly inside, so I will be able to cut those out. Of course, I am going to do those separately so I don't accidentally get something caught under another die. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off camera real quick and get that taken care of, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I have all of my frames done and my flower, and I also took the larger of the two Wonky Rectangles and I cut another piece that I ran through the Elizabeth Craft Designs Mini Mosaic embossing folder. And this is just such a pretty pattern. I do love how that turned out. So let's go ahead and set that aside for a moment. Now I was only going to cut two frames, but I did throw in a third one just for funs. And I'm going to take a moment to get these little paper strings off. I don't know about you guys, but when I die cut things and it has these extra little feathery pieces of paper, it kind of drives me crazy. Mostly because I don't see it until after I've glued everything together, and then they are glued together in place. So it's like these tiny little strings here. So I have my art glitter glue and my reverse tweezers. And let's go ahead and glue our frame together. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back of this frame, and then I will glue it to the front of the next frame. Actually, I'm not going to use those tweezers. That's just going to be a little too fiddly. Now, art glitter glue does dry fairly quickly, but like I've said before, you do have a chance to work with it to get everything lined up as you need it. All right. And with the 110-pound card, this makes almost a chipboard weight frame, which I really like. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this to the back of the frame. Now this might be a little bit trickier to do. And you know what? I might be able to use, let me see. Yep, I'm even going to be able to use some of my 1/8 inch score tape for a little extra hold. Now this project isn't going to take much time at all. I think the hardest part is standing at the die cut machine, trying to get everything run through. And again, I am using the Sizzix Big Shot for all of my die cutting. It's getting a little difficult to do. If I have really intricate dies, then I do have to run them through twice. And on everything, I need to add a paper shim to it. So one of these days, I will be investing in a new die cutting machine. Let me know down in the comments what die cutting machine you use. I'm curious. Probably the only thing I need to be able to do is I need to be able to use my glimmer machine with it. I haven't used that much, but I am going to start doing some more projects with that soon. So let me know down in the comment what die cutting machine you use and which one you would recommend, which one you wouldn't recommend, and why. All right, and there is our frame and our embossed panel. Now let's go ahead and talk about our etched layered daisy. That is just a tongue twister. Thanks a lot, Simon says. My initial thought for this was to just, okay, I'm doing a white on white card, so I'm just going to have a white flower. So I'll just put a white flower on there. But then I was thinking maybe I need a little bit of color on it. So I have two different options. To keep it in the white flower mode, I do have a cool gray. This is C1 in Copic markers. And to add just a touch of yellow, I have Y13, which is a lemon yellow. I did do a couple of samples. So I will show you these. I hope they're in frame. And I'm not really sure which one I like better, if I like the yellow center or if I just like the gray shading on it. So again, let me know down in the comments, which one do you prefer, the yellow center or the gray shading? I think for this particular card, I am going to just use the gray marker. So I'll bring in a little piece of scrap paper. And I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to do a little bit of shading from the base of the petal up in just kind of a flicking motion, just to add a little bit of interest to the white flower. And then I will fill in the center. All right, I have them colored, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring in a piece of craft color cardstock just so I can see better and so you can see better. I don't know about you, but I tend to have problems figuring out how to put layered flowers together. I'm sure some of you are out there going, hello, knock, knock, it's easy. Well, it is if you're not using my brain. So with the top layer, yes, I can see that that is the direction it goes because it has the little extra detail in the center of the flower. Yeah, got that. But I'm always focusing on the center size of it, and I'm trying to get that lined up perfectly. So I'm paying more attention to that than I am the petal placement. So with these 5 petals, there are 2 that are off to the side, 1 that is kind of by itself going straight up, and then 2 that are on the bottom, and they're just, kind of separated a little bit. And if you look at this petal or this layer, it's basically doing the same thing. So turn it upside down so that it is the opposite. So it now has 1 petal by itself, straight down, 2 petals off to the side, and 2 petals that are going up. And if you do it that way, then you can line it up. Ta-da! Or should I say, oh, okay, I get it now. So I don't know, it took me a long time to figure that out. So I'm going to put a blob of art glitter glue in the center. Oh, sometimes the tweezers are good and sometimes they're not. And I am just going to put that down and kind of zhuzh it into place. So let's go ahead and put our card together. I have my card base made from, again, 110-pound Recollections card. This is 5.5 by 4.25. And then I have a card mat that is 5.25 by 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put some score tape on this and adhere it to my card base. Okay, so while I was taking care of that, I also put score tape on the back of my centerpiece. And what I'm going to do with this, and I'll just kind of lay it out for you a little bit, is I'm going to put this kind of more closer to the top. And I will put my little flower down here. And I have a couple of ideas. So let's go ahead and put our frame on here first. And I did put plenty of extra art glitter glue on there to make sure it stays adhered down, because this is an incredibly textured embossing folder. Now I do want to put some ribbon on here, but I don't want to necessarily make a bow. There really isn't room for that. So what I thought I would do is I have some Offray white satin ribbon. This is 3/8 of an inch. And I thought what I would do is just take a little piece. I'm just going to fold it over to kind of measure it out. So I will cut a little piece, and then I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm just going to angle my ends there. So I was thinking about gluing this together, kind of like that, and then putting that over the top, and then using the ribbon in place of leaves. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will just, whoops, pop a little bit of art glitter glue on there. And then I will lay this one on top and kind of angle it out a little bit. And I think that's going to add a nice extra bit of dimension and texture to the card. So then I'm just going to glue this right here on the corner. Another little dot of glue. And then I'm going to glue my flower right on top of that. So, because Valentine's Day is on the way, I thought we could even turn this into a Valentine's Day card. So I have the Sweet Talk die set from This Calls for Confetti. And I have cut out the word love. This is also cut out from the White Recollections. And that would fit perfectly right there. And that would make this a beautiful Valentine's Day card. I think what I want to do though is I want to give this word a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to hop off here real quick and I'm going to die cut another love. And then I'll be back. We'll glue it together and then glue it to our card. All right, I have another one cut. And let's go ahead and glue these together. I think this is just going to add that finishing touch to it since there's so much dimension on the rest of the card. If this was left by itself, it just wouldn't pop quite as much. So I'm just going to press this down a little bit before we get it onto the card. Just want to make sure those layers stay together. And then I am going to, well, let's see, how am I going to line this up? I'm going to do my best to line this up on the card. Oh gosh, you guys, this is ridiculous. But you know what? I feel like I can make these kind of interesting judgment calls, and because you guys are the best. There, that really looks nice. I like that. I had so much fun creating this card with you today, and I hope you enjoyed following along. A touch of color with the Copic marker and the elegant love sentiment from the Sweet Talk die set really brought this timeless white on white design to life. Adding the word love makes it perfect for Valentine's Day, but it's a versatile enough design for weddings, anniversary, or any occasion where love is in the air. I'll be sharing this card as part of the Simon Says Stamp Instagram Color Challenge with the January theme of white on white. Even though there are only a few days left to participate in this challenge, I'd love for you to play along too. Get creative with your own white on white designs, and don't forget to tag me and Simon Says Stamp so we can see your beautiful creations. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I put up the next video. Until then, have a great week and happy crafting. Bye.